Sometimes you got to have one of those games when you have a magical season, but I've never seen anything like that. I mean, the way that first half went could not have been any worse. You're down 30-3. And Marcel Reed, who you and I love, we've talked about him most of this year,
Yeah,
made some poor throws, some tough decisions, just
I heard
unlike anything.
that's being kind.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
being very kind because honestly, he should have thrown 5 interceptions.
Yeah, easily.
South
Yeah,
Carolina, South Carolina was dropping it just like his receivers were. Someone was on the ball in that first half. The
yeah.
DBs for South Carolina were dropping it, and the receivers Texas A&M was dropping it. Go ahead. Yeah, you were being very kind and saying he made some bad throws. That
Yeah, I mean,
was
I know it was horrendous,
it
and
was
then
awful.
I don't know what Mike Elko did at halftime to this team. I mean, other than I'm sure he raised hell and got in
Yes,
guys, challenged their manhood a little bit. But 30-3, I don't know how many times we've ever seen 30-3 at halftime. And you knew A&M, hey, they're probably going to come back and make it an interesting game. But when I saw 30-10 and then it was 30-17, you're like, wait a second, it's still the third quarter. I mean,
hmm
they still, if they get another stop, they get it to 30-24. They got a shot to come back because now all the momentum, they're at home,
yeah,
all the momentum is favoring them. So I guess it depends on how you want to view this. It's either, it's different than Penn State and Indiana. Penn State and Indiana, Penn State's the underdog at home, trying to
yep,
salvage their season, trying to get anything. And Indiana had to come back on the road and find a way to win. Here's A&M at home down 30-3.
hmm
And Shane Beamer's team, to their credit, came in ready to roll and took advantage of the opportunities. And I think once you felt here that 30-10, 30-17, it's like they're going to come back. They're going to come back and win this thing. And they got it to 30-24. And give credit to that A&M defense because they really just shut them down. It's easy to talk about
absolutely.
Marcel Reed and the offense coming alive in the second half, but the A&M defense also came alive to
Yeah, it's a
give them
combination.
that hope, give them that like
Absolutely.
opportunity to come back and win that game. That was insane.
It's a combination. The defense got 4 sacks, gave up 0 points, and they held them to 70 yards in that second half. And so it was a combination. But I'm with you. I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite like what they did in the first half compared to what they did in the second half. So at the end of the first half, 30-3. When you're
Thirty
sitting
to
in studio
three,
all day
man.
long, yeah, you're sitting in studio all day long. You check the line and you like the live line. So at one point in this game, South Carolina is favored by 10.5. So for funsies, I throw $5 on the money line on A&M down 30-3. Because I'm
Oh, did you
like,
really?
yeah, why not? I threw
Yeah.
five on the plus 10.5, five on the money line. Why not? Just in case something crazy happens. And you jump in. So when I see these things now during the weekends and it's you know what I mean, you see the favored team is down. I jump in just to see what happens. And they came back and it was amazing what Marcel Reed did. It was amazing. His receivers couldn't catch the ball in the first half. Much like Texas and Arch Manning, Texas had some crazy drops in the first half of their game, which really mattered. You know what I mean? Like if you're a quarterback in Arch Manning and you're having one of those days in the first half and you throw some balls and your guys don't catch them, you're like in this game against Georgia on the road, we can't make these kind of mistakes. You're right. A&M's at home, and they same thing. They couldn't catch. They couldn't do anything the first half. Second half, amazing. The question is going to be, I know what I think of A&M and where I have them ranked. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing your rankings here coming up a little bit later to see if you try to sneak another team in that top five, what you felt about A&M and the way they played in the first half versus second half, if that moves them for you. So it'd be interesting to see what you think there.
For me personally, I think I appreciate how challenging 12 games is. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes people look at Indiana struggling with Penn State Des and I talked about this a little bit. I think Des took it more of that's a trash Penn State team. What's going on? You shouldn't be struggling with a team like Penn State. I looked at that. I was really impressed. I think college football for me is a week to week sport.
Yeah.
In NFL as well. So I think what you've seen from Penn State prior to that game, where they're at home, they're starving for a win. They fired a coach. You got a new leadership, new coach. Same with LSU. I look at that as that day in that stadium, Indiana. That is a great win for me. That's my own perspective. That is a great win for Indiana. I was more impressed with Indiana with how they had to win that game in that environment and being down, stadium going crazy, a very talented roster. In this case, I look at A&M and I rather focus on the second half. I mean, yeah, they dug themselves a hole. I have appreciation for how hard it is, especially for the teams that have the bullseye on their chest. And the team that they're playing, I don't necessarily look at it like they're terrible. South Carolina, I mean, Shane Beamer works his ass off to get his team ready to play a game. And to their credit, they took advantage of opportunities and built a lead. It doesn't mean they're a bad team. They haven't had a great year, but they're more than capable. Are you kidding me? With Lenore Sellers and the offense they have, and they've had some injuries. The season hasn't gone the way they had hoped, but they're still capable. So I look at, I don't lose any respect for A&M after this at all. If anything, they dig a hole. By the way, what was going on in the tunnel with this guy, with this cop? What did you see that? What in the world is that guy
did. We played that back on College Football Final. I don't know. That is one of the strangest things I've seen in football, because like we know people do things in situations. He bows up in a situation with everybody looking. Like you're blowing up on the guy that just scored a 70, 80-yard touchdown. Like everyone is looking at you and you do this. That was one of the crazier things I've seen on a football field. And
never seen that.
And you could see the South Carolina guys were kind of
He's like, did I miss something? What just happened? And
then kept going. And believe me, and that's one of those conversations that we don't have time for right now on this podcast. If we continue this in the off season, we're going to dive more into that. Because I do have some feelings about that. But I agree with you though, on the A&M and the way you view these things, and the way through a college football season, you're going to have a scare. You are absolutely going to have.
You just hope to win.
You hope to win when you have your scare. It takes 3 or 4 of these to make me change my opinion of what I'm looking at in a football team. One of them doesn't scare me. And again, they got through it. They get a chance to play Samford this week, and then they have Texas. That one will be a fun one to watch. And they get a chance to prove that they can play 4 quarters like they did the second half of that game against South Carolina.